has not won an election of significance since 2004. Okay, and in the previous nomination cycles, many of us who are more conservative or didn't like this Never Trump crowd, when they were the true conservatives or the GOP establishment, whatever you want to call them, we were told to hold our nose and vote for John McCain. We were told to hold our nose and vote for Pierre Delecto. It's time for everyone to start rallying behind what is most likely going to be the next president. Okay, these billionaires aren't giving money to Donald Trump because they like him or they support his policies per se. I'm sure some do, but the reality is, like when you were in Davos earlier this year, there's an acceptance by the global elite that Donald Trump is going to be the next president. He is the hands-on favorite, and many of these people are donating money because they're either in now or they're out for the next 4 years. So
well,
look,
it's largely because of policy. Mike, they're feeling the impact of what we've got now.
Yeah, well, look, that's why Donald Trump is winning. Joe Biden has destroyed the quality of life for the bulk of Americans across this country, and that's why he's had historic low approval ratings, getting crushed in states. The polls have moved almost 10 points, where if you looked at the last election, Trump was down 3 to 5 points nationally the entire time. Now he's up 3 to 5 points nationally. So look, we are in for a wild ride in this election cycle as people put their arms around what's likely to happen. So look, I'm excited.
Yeah, Liz, but the president is still trying to play this. I'm from Scranton, and your reaction, Michael. We know that the Obama group and the Biden group are not necessarily getting along, so there's some of that in there as well. But interesting to hear Axelrod criticize Biden about how he's celebrating this economy.
Yeah, well, look, the reason they don't get along is because the Biden administration is essentially the JV team and the stupid people from the Obama administration, right? And David Axelrod is much more politically in tune than anybody in this Biden administration. And there is nothing people hate hearing more than the economy is doing well while they are individually struggling. And yes, the economy is doing okay here. And if you have a nice stock portfolio and you own real estate, like, things are great for you. If you're outside that top 10 to 15% of the economy, this has been a devastation. Okay, the cost of living, particularly for working class people who, by the way, decide the election because of where they live in this country and the significance of the Electoral College, okay, this has been devastating for them. Absolutely devastating. And for Biden to come out and tell you this is a great economy is a slap in the face. And by the way, this economic growth we're having is coming at a significant cost. We are adding $1 trillion of new debt every 100 days. So it's not all roses in the economy either.
Well, look at these job graphics that we have. I mean, 99-cent store had to come to the realization it can't afford to sell stuff for 99 cents anymore.
Yeah, look, I think Trump was going on Truth Social about this over the weekend, that grocery prices are up 50% in the last 3 years. Right. Yeah. And I think that is a low estimate. The cost of everything has gone through the roof. All of this government spending, all of the illegal immigration, all of the regulation, and the poll numbers for Joe Biden, these are all inextricably linked. Okay, and you are seeing it right in front of your face with the 99-cent stores closing. So they can tell you whatever you want. They can tell you that inflation has subsided. But look, you know, it isn't like, no matter what they say, it's not going to reopen the 99-cent stores.
Yeah, exactly. And for starters, I will say it's resonating with people. You look at what's going on in Pennsylvania, they're talking about this fracking boom weighing on.
Maria, this is just unbelievable. Okay, we're coming up on the 11th anniversary of Trump coming down the elevator. What was his #1 issue then? And it's the #1 issue now, illegal immigration. And it goes so much more beyond the knock-on effects of what illegal immigration does to our society. It's the fact that we are a nation of rule followers. Okay, we follow the law, we follow the rules. Okay, and the reason why Hispanics hate illegal immigration so much is because the bulk of them came here by following the laws, following the rules. My wife is a legal immigrant. It cost us a ton of money, and it took years for it to work out. Okay, it's the same thing as somebody cutting the line, somebody getting an unfair advantage here, an unfair advantage here. Okay, these people are lawbreakers and rule breakers, and we as an American society hate it. Okay, but it's no secret what this administration wants to do. They want cheap labor, okay, and they want new voters. And so why are there all these sanctuary cities? So they get a greater population in the next census, more congressional seats, more electoral college votes, and more federal funding for their overall district. So look, it is unbelievable what you see here in New York City. I think it's 10 cents of every single dollar that comes into the city's tax coffers is going to illegal immigrants. While we are creating a new $1 trillion of debt every 100 days, we are beyond a banana republic now.
It's unbelievable, really. It's just stunning. Let's take a short break and come to a signal on that CPI. Gold is extending a recent rally this morning. Bitcoin is also rebounding over the weekend, inching closer to that all-time high of $73,000. And, of course, then, Mike, you've got oil. And where oil is, which is very close to now, what, $87 a barrel? What's your outlook for gold, Bitcoin, and what about that CPI number Wednesday, Mike?
Yeah, well, look, gold broke out above 2,100, and in early March, and we're up about 14% since then. I think gold continues to run, and I think what's remarkable about the move in gold is you haven't seen a dramatic sell-off in the dollar that's coincided with it. Also, so with Bitcoin, I'm more excited about Bitcoin. I'm long gold in my equity model portfolio for all of my clients via an ETF. But I'm really excited about Bitcoin. There was a tremendous amount of overhang in Bitcoin from the FTX scandal. There was a large amount of funds were recovered in that bankruptcy proceeding, similar to what happened with Bernie Madoff. That was parked in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And so there's been a massive amount of liquidation as there started to be payouts there, as well as some drama and some legal cases with the crypto lender Genesis. Okay, that's all behind us, and Bitcoin is starting to break out. That selling from those two non-fundamental related incidences have ended in the last week or so. And so I expect Bitcoin to break out substantially here. Look, we are creating $1 trillion of new debt every 100 days. And so you'd expect to see gold much higher given how little it's moved since 2011. But we're now starting to get here. And I think the same concept applies to Bitcoin, with the daily inflows exceeding the new supply coming on the market, basically since the creation of these ETFs that came public, as well as the halving event that's coming up in the next couple of weeks, which will greatly reduce the new supply coming on market. Every single major price spike you've seen in Bitcoin, when you look at it historically, has coincided with this halving event. So I think we're pretty much off to the races with Bitcoin. And look, as we look into inflation later this week, I think, nobody that works on Wall Street was working in the late 70s and early 80s, the last time inflation was a substantial part of the conversation the way it is today. And if they were very junior in their roles. I mean, look, the last time inflation was really hot like it was the last couple of years, I was born. So I certainly was not working on a desk of any significance at that point. And so, so we heard 1,000,001 opinions. I think the one that really resonated is getting from 3% to 2% is going to be the biggest hurdle, is going to be the hardest part, and I think we continue to see that this week.
Yeah, look, I'm wondering if the Fed is going to slowly but surely walk back this whole 2% target and maybe say, you know what, 3% is okay too. It's going to take, because don't forget what Powell said last week in terms of his commentary. He kept saying, I'm also a nerd in that regard, Kelly. Thank you. Great reporting. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, every time anyone says total eclipse, I go back to the wedding scene in the movie Old School and listening to Total Eclipse of the Heart. And then obviously, it was 4 or 5 years ago where Trump was staring at the eclipse and took the glasses right off, to the dismay of many cable news experts.
Well, we'll all be watching today. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're watching Mornings with Maria live on Fox Business.